Everything you need to know to pass the BCS Foundation exam. So we're cutting through the noise now. You don't need to drop hundreds or thousands of pounds on an expensive course to pass this exam. I'm going to show you exactly what you need to do and how to study smart. The pass mark for the foundation exam is 26 out of 40. So that's 65%. If you practice properly, you can absolutely pass this exam first time. Now, the only resources you actually need for this exam, there are four non-negotiables. One is the BCS textbook that goes for around 20 to 30 pounds. You can get used copies of that. The syllabus, which you can get for free from the BCS website. Practice papers, which you can also get for free from the BCS website. A spaced repetition app for you to learn these definitions. That's what you need. That's all you need to pass this exam. Now, let's talk about the exam format. It's 40 multiple choice questions, 60 minutes total time. It's a closed book exam, so you've got about 1.5 minutes or 90 seconds per question. So it's plenty of time if you know what you're talking about. It's closed book, so you need to know the material, but you only need to get 26 questions right to pass. So the way I used to look at it was I could afford to get 14 questions wrong and still pass. So what you actually need to do to pass this exam is stop memorizing and start understanding the context. You don't just learn what PESTEL stands for. That's not good enough. You have to ask yourself, when would I use PESTEL analysis and why? So create these scenarios in your head. This deeper understanding is what gets you through those tricky questions, because they're not going to ask you what does the E in PESTEL stand for. They're going to give you a scenario and you have to apply your knowledge of PESTEL to that scenario. So you need to connect concepts to real business situations. Practice under real exam conditions. You have to practice like this is the real thing. Set a timer for 60 minutes. No cheating with the textbook. No peekaboo. When you finish, mark it straight away and understand why you got questions wrong. This is not only going to build up speed, but it's also going to give you confidence, because you're going to need both on the exam day. If you can look at a question and very quickly deduce which are the wrong answers and which are the potentially right answers, then you're onto a winner. You're in a good position to pass the exam first time. There are three types of people that are reading this. Some people are self-starters. They're going to hear those four things: textbook, syllabus, practice paper, and an app to do revision on, and they're going to go straight out and do it. They're just going to do it. There's a bigger section of people who are the people that were never going to do this. It's just not something they were ever going to do. They've heard about business analysis. It sounds all right, but now it's all of this work, so they don't want to do it. And that's fine. And that's the majority. Then there's an additional subsect of people who want to do it. They've got the desire. They want to break into tech. They want a new role. They want to stretch their legs, so to speak. But they are aware of themselves and they know they're going to need structure and guidance to do it. So if you're in that group, if you're one of those people, these are your options: expensive versus smart. You could pay £900 for a course, £900 to £2,000 for a course, or you can be smart about it because it's often unnecessary. So the thing is, if you're someone that knows you struggle to get things going yourself, being a part of a group or being a cohort with other people that are learning about the exam is a great place to start. For me, I just had to do it myself and I didn't have the financial resources to pay for something like that. So either way, whatever you choose, you have to be smart about it. My resources, the other providers that are doing courses, their resources and their in-person community classroom lectures do not replace doing the actual work. Not even my materials. You have to know the actual textbook. You have to be familiar with these things that are in the textbook, or you're just not gonna pass. You need to study. What I wanted to do with the Foundation Pro was make it, kind of economical for career changers like myself who maybe don't have the money to throw around and don't have the time to maybe sit down for 3 days worth of lectures. That's not the work. You have to be familiar with the material. Now, those are really your options. If you want to find out where you stand, you can go to bastack.com. I've got 10 free questions. It's a readiness quiz. All the questions on there are aligned to the BCS Foundation syllabus. What it does is it gives you instant feedback on where you stand. It will also tell you gaps in the syllabus that you need to fill. So no excuses. You can go now and find out if you're ready. That's it for now. Thanks.